Hello everyone. Figured out my mic problems from yesterday. It was simply that I had my microphone at the control panel level turned down 5 notches. It was at 95% instead of 100. But the thing about audio is that it tends to be kind of logarithmic in nature, so 5% is huge. It feels more like 20%. But regardless, I think we're fine today. We shouldn't have a problem hearing me. I shouldn't have to talk all crazy. In fact, it looks like I'm already being a little bit loud. I've kind of overcompensated over the past day. You know, worried about not being loud enough. So my mic is closer to my face than it usually is and everything. But now I'm like settled, so we're gonna have different audio problems, but they should be a lot easier to live with types of things. So let me just make my final incremental adjustments. There we go. No, everything looks good. Alright, so I decided in time between streams, did a little bit of reading, and it's hard to find verifiable information, but it's kind of a no news is good news type of situation, I think, where it doesn't seem like anything is going to stop us from actually just hitting through all of the Crystal Tower raid series in one go today. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some Crystal Tower raids. Talk to this outlandish man here and get started. Do I know you? Ah, unless I am very much mistaken, are you not the famed adventurer who bested the Garlean Empire's general? The great Soapy Sent Novum himself. Amazing! And more than a little serendipitous. One might even call it fate. You see, I have an opportunity of like the which none but one of your proven worth could take advantage. The reward, not less than the accumulated knowledge of a fallen civilization. The risk, a single misstep could cost you your life. A man with absolute confidence in his own ability stands to profit handsomely from this venture. If my words have fanned the flames of your curiosity, then I bid you seek a man by the name of Rambrose at St. Coinac's Find. It is he who stands at the doorway to untold marvels. Hey, that's the person that Moneybath told us to talk to. Let's get on it. One disappointing thing I was reading about at the end of last stream about how many quests they have removed from the quest line, or rather from this part of the story. And it is not as many as I would have wished. I wish that they had actually trimmed it down to about half size, but they really only cut out 13 quests of like 80 something. However, they also say that the fetchiness of all these different quests that should have also been trimmed. Hello, Rambros. Or Rambries. Why, if it isn't Soapy Sent Novum himself, I was not expecting such a celebrated guest. What do I owe for the visit? You were directed here, you say, by a man clad in foreign garb? Well, the opportunity he spoke of must surely refer to our latest anthropogeographical endeavor. But how he came to know of it is another matter. That is something for me to ponder in private. You are here now, and your services will, I am certain, prove invaluable. Your courage is scarcely a secret. So the first... Soapy! I thought it was you. Oh, it's Sid. What brings you to St. Coinac's? Don't tell me. The Alliance has sent you another realm-shaking, history-making mission to lay low an apparently insuperable foe. Yes? No? Oh, I see you two are already acquainted. That is well. Master Garland, our intrepid hero here, caught wind of our forthcoming expedition. He's kindly pledged to assist us. He has he? Glad to have you aboard, Soapy. But you don't have the faintest idea what you volunteered for, do you? Well, let's start from the beginning. The sons of St. Coinac are tasked with unearthing the secrets of the long-fallen Allegan Empire, and this present endeavor aims to delve more deeply into the civilization's mysteries than ever before. I invite you to crawl your encounter with the ultimate weapon. That mechanical monstrosity represented a feat of engineering far beyond aught Garlemald can presently achieve. Nerotolshkiva simply awoke it. I mention this by way of a reminder that you have had what one might term extensive first-hand experience with notable Allagan technology. You're practically an archaeologist. Now to the core of the matter. Here in Mordona there stands an entire Allagan structure with which we have yet to investigate. I speak, of course, of the Crystal Tower. To put it plain, I have no wish to see another megalomaniacal legatus wield one of those weapons. It was this thought which first moved me to contact the Sons and propose that the tower be explored. For several millennia the Crystal Tower remained hidden, buried deep underground, but like so many other things that were left better undisturbed, the structure was freed from its stony prison by the great upheaval which accompanied the coming of the Seventh Umbral Era. It now stands revealed in all its splendor, a gleaming spear of crystal pointed at the bosom of the heavens. We're in the Seventh Umbral Era now, as of the last stream. As clarification for that. The calamity brought upon the Seventh Astral Era, and we ended the Astral Era by turning away the Garleans. We believe the tower to be the repository of much of the ancient wisdom. Unfortunately, its entrance is guarded by formidable defenses. These defenses take the form of statues carved into the likeness of giant swordsmen, the 8 sentinels as the Sons are wont to call them. This is the first barrier that must be overcome. My colleagues and I are ill-suited to negotiate such deadly hazards. Thus, if we are to gain access to the tower's secrets, we must needs employ the services of an experienced adventurer. It will be difficult and dangerous, Soapy, but I can think of no finer man for the task. You better think of at least 23 more. I'm prepared. Our first objective is to reach the entrance of the Crystal Tower. As I previously mentioned, however, that will prove no easy task. The entrance is guarded by powerful defense mechanisms, each utilizing one of the 4 elements of fire, water, wind, or earth. Anyone attempting to simply stroll past these unsleeping sentinels invites swift obliteration. Based on Master Garland's analysis, however, we are reasonably certain that the attacks of these lethal contraptions can be reflected using crystals of the corresponding element. Naturally, these crystals must be of surpassing clarity, free of the slightest impurities, much like the flawless specimens used by the beastmen in their primal summoning rituals. Mayhap I should have said exactly like the specimens they use. Were there any other way, we would not ask this of you, but we need someone to enter the beast tribe strongholds and liberate their perfect crystals. Man, this looks so badass. Like, I know that I'm making like an attempt to, a concerted effort to like break these effects, but they look so good. One thing I didn't think about with them adding flying to this when I was reading about the Crystal Towers is that a lot of it came with the same update that added flying. But anyway, they apparently had to completely change like the sound design of the areas, which is not something that I think about. Hulking hog carcass. What is going on here? You are too late, adventurer, and not only for the entertainment. No, you'll find no trace of your ore which but recently lay here. Nay, not so much as a speck. This an Ashian? It looked like a... no, you will never spy me from there, for the time being at least. You will have to listen... You have to trust the evidence of your ears. Now stop squinting at the foliage and listen. As I told you, the water-blessed mineral you hope to find is gone, taken by me. Victory has made me magnanimous, however. Accordingly, I've decided to share the location of an alternative source of ether sand with you, the wind-touched variety to be specific. I trust I have your attention? Good. A band of Ixal in the North Shroud keeps a quantity of the abrasive for the purpose of removing impurities from lesser crystals. Well, you mean to dally here all day? Make haste, adventurer, before I snatch another prize from under your nose. Let this be a race. The Ixali logging grounds in the North Shroud shall be our destination. Now may the best man win. I was about to attack that airstone. No, I don't want to do this fate. No, thank you. Ninja is such a fun quest line. Bravo, that was quite a show, adventure. Why, the spectacles proved so enthralling that all thoughts of ether sand slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations, the wind-touched abrasive is yours, and yet, having been treated to such a memorable performance, I cannot help feeling the greater prize is mine. This inequity must not stand. I insist that you accept a token of my appreciation. Payment for this entertainment will be waiting for you to the east, in a clearing with Proud Creek. Pray retrieve the gift ere it is crushed beneath the iron feet of the Doolahans. Proud Creek. Oh, I know where that is. Okay. I didn't know it until I really thought about Doolahan, because yeah, that's the only place in the game where Doolahans are. Leave me alone! Thank you for leaving me alone. Ah. Butt chugs. How'd that King's Will do you, Doolahan? Heck yeah. Gonna be insane watching you. Now what were you expecting? I took the liberty of refining the ore from Earth's gifts into ether sand. Do keep it safe, adventurer. Lest you accuse me of playing games, you should know that the thought of relinquishing my prize never once crossed my mind until I saw you in action. Such deeds must needs be rewarded. It is my vocation, you see, to record history as it is made by mortal men, and I much prefer the chronicle of accomplishments to the bold and the mighty. Thus it is my fervent wish for you to continue your career with the same courage and zeal you have shown today. We shall meet again, adventurer, and sooner than you may imagine. Alright. Dory, then we're gonna go this way. Oh. These mountains are pretty tall too. This is the Skyrim experience. There's a perfectly reasonable path. Why don't we just go over the mountains instead? I'm an adventurer. Ooh, very blue off in that direction too. Yeah, man, this place is just like, this was made to fly in. It's a totally different effect. Hello, Rembros. What news of your mission? You're not gonna believe this. You brought both? I shall have Master Garland begin work immediately. X potions, I suppose. I probably should have taken the money. There, that should do the trick. Oh, those look wild. Excellent work! Now we possess all 4 of the fangs required to pierce the Crystal Tower's defenses. Compliments, Master Garland. Oh, it was a trifling matter, I assure you. Soapy here is the one who you should be thanking. Hey, you're welcome, man. You can't go without us, Chief. Biggs Wedge, come to lend a hand, have you? Oh, it's not every day you get the chance to study the wonders of the Allegan Empire, is it? Their technology makes Garlemald look ancient. I appreciate your enthusiasm, lads, I really do, but we're not here to take this knowledge for ourselves. Twice in the last decade, the promise of unimaginable power has prompted men to meddle with technology they do not understand, and the realm has been dragged into the very brink of oblivion on both occasions. We shall not be so irresponsible as to risk another. Wedge, do you recall our company's creeds? Never be evil. No wait, that's Google. Freedom through technology. Exactly. Google is evil now. They dropped that moniker. That's why we must explore the Crystal Tower, and if needs be, seal away its secrets. A compelling viewpoint. It is unyielding will such as yours. Oh, okay, I was misreading that. It is unwielding yields such as yours. I give up. Everybody knows what that's supposed to say. So you return at last. What, pray tell, has kept you so wholly preoccupied that you could not spare a moment to inform me of your progress? Why, the task you assigned me, of course. Surely you have not forgotten about the ether sand. I tasked a passing adventurer with delivering it, a more capable courier than I could not imagine. It's me, a cat boy. Greetings, adventurer. Did I not say we would meet again? I believe an introduction is order. I am COMPLETEI of the students of Baldesion. I look forward to joining you on your groundbreaking expedition. COMPLETEI has been assigned to the project as an observer. I hope you will forgive him his eccentricities and welcome him as one of our own. Alright. So then, our fellowship is complete, and all to stand ready and step into the unknown. 3 cheers for Noah! Noah? Ain't that from Final Fantasy 13? That is the name I have chosen for our little collective. Given our differing backgrounds, we cannot very well call ourselves the Sons of St. Coinac, can we? And we must have a memorable appellation if our venture is to leave its mark in the annals of history. I claim that NOAA stands for Nominated Observers of Artifacts Historical, and so it does, technically. But my true reasoning for choosing a name stems from the fact that it is shared by a vaunted Allegan Archmagus. An Archmagus? I like the sound of that. Hey, I like little dude, says COMPLETEI. Very well. Now if the pressing matter of what to call ourselves has been settled, it's time we set forth to brave the outer defenses of the Crystal Tower. Is everyone ready to depart? Yeah. Ready. You know, originally in this game, the Miqo'te, that race, the cat people, the men were very rare. It's kind of like the male Viera, where, yeah, you just didn't see a lot of them. And the Rogadin were the same way, but the other way around. They were mostly men, but women existed. They were just kind of rare. So you couldn't become one in 1.0. Would have made COMPLETEI a lot more interesting. The Crystal Tower lies beyond this portal. Now comes the interesting part. Sid, you're the only one of our number who has ever crossed this threshold. I ask that you take the lead for the presentation. Or for the present. Presentation? What am I saying? They don't even stick him with the pointy end. Dies. Yeah, one of them worked. I, for one, am convinced. Friends, ready your fangs. Soapy does not look very enthused. Ha, we did it! So much for the outer defenses. Indeed, the entrance to the tower is near at hand. My blood fairly sings with the anticipation. Speaking of blood, I have a proposal for the next stage of the expedition. I suggest we wait here while Soapy and a hand-picked party of his adventuring companions enter the tower. What? Without us? I thought we came here to survey the entire structure. We did and we will, but our investigation must proceed at a more measured pace. If the outside place is this well defended, can you imagine what awaits for us on the inside? Only a true hero could reasonably hope to brave the hazards ahead and live to tell the tale. Soapy here fits that description better than anyone I know. And it is not as if we shall idle in his absence. While Soapy and his companions risking life and limb to beat us a path to the tower, we can set about analyzing this rubble for evidence of how its technologies function. Your knowledge of ancient lore will be invaluable to us in that endeavor, historian Grahatia. Also, the sun just rose. Bah! Do you ever tire of being right, old man? Soapy, as it seems I won't be accompanying you, allow me to at least provide some instruction. The maze that surrounds the base of his tower is known as the Labyrinth of the Ancients. During its initial foray, I suggest you concentrate on ridding the place of hostile elements. I don't know, you get an ability that's literally called Titan. Sounds pretty Titan to me. Labyrinth of the Ancients. Everybody's talking, we get these ping ping pings. Well, they're the elementals that Grahatia told us that we're probably going to have to kill. I forgot that I wasn't a summoner while I was talking about that. I am just a little tank. At least I'm not dead like that ninja over there. I am weakened, however. I got a good healer. But yeah, now that I can actually pay attention to what I'm saying, Gladiator and Paladin is kind of daunting at first because you are in charge of so much, but when you figure it out, like, it's not even a steep learning curve, it's just like an initial first step is kind of steep. And then it's super easy, to the point that a lot of people think it's boring. So, DPS are typically the ones that people think are the most fun to play. So I always try to find one that I think people would like. It's funny, it's been one of my running jokes in this that, like, bards are just terrible people. Oh, cutscene. No, go away, chat. I don't need you right now. Oh, it was an elevator. Oh, this guy. Oh no, I missed him. Oh no, good, it got him. Oh, what the heck, somebody else's claws came and got me. Megiddo Flame. Oh, that's not the one I thought it was. He has an ability where you have to... Oh, there it is. Ancient Flare. We have to step on our pads, or our barrier doesn't go up and we die. No, Mizu, no! Oh, I was the main tank for half a second. That was funny. You call that a labyrinth? All of the inexonerable. Ha ha! Soapy! Labyrinth of the Ancients complete. Woohoo! Player Kong. How about Maximilian? He did good. He didn't die twice on a mechanic. I don't think I want any of this. Tell everybody goodbye. Fare thee well, friends. I'm Soapy. I got a commendation. Alright, Graha, you're good to come in. My wallet was beginning to wear on me. Oh there, Soapy. Very impressive, I must say. Your name shall be written large in the volumes that are sure to be penned on this historic expedition. The scale of the structure defies comprehension. Someone plainly thought bigger was better. According to the findings of my Baldesian colleagues, the Crystal Tower was constructed to collect and store the endless energies of the sun, a characteristically ambitious undertaking. Now, what are the tower's inner defenses? Judging by your haggard expression, clearing out the labyrinth was no small feat. Yo, man, there was some stuff alive in here. Giant man wielding a shimmering scimitar, you say? Yes, that will have been Phlegethon, not Archeron. Phlegethon. He was the hero of the Allegan Revolution. And you glean that from what exactly? His choice of weapon? Well, I am a historian. I have a certain, shall we say, affinity for the lore of the Allegan Empire. It is, of course, all knowledge gleaned from the musty scrolls and tomes. These ancient texts claim that the Crystal Tower is defended by the champions of Eld, resurrected and augmented through the Allegan's extraordinary technology. Resurrected and augmented. Chief, you need to see this! Raising the bar. Oh, that's a screenshot. Well, well, there it is, the foot of the tower. What surprises do you have in store for us, I wonder? In the course of this, our first foray into the grounds of the Crystal Tower, we succeeded in neutralizing the structure's outer defenses before proceeding to secure the maze surrounding the base of the spire. According to Soapy's account, the labyrinth's defenses were most emphatically active. Disturbingly, his reports also mentioned a violent encounter with the sentry, heavily augmented by Allegan technologies. In short, our misgivings were well founded. The Crystal Tower is not simply thrust above the ground by chaotic shifting of the earth. It has somehow been reawoken. If, as seems increasingly likely, the tower's secrets should prove too dangerous to share with the world, we will have no choice but to contain them. Short of leveling the place, we will almost certainly involve returning the mechanisms to a state of dormancy. To do that, however, we will first need to address the question of how they work, the answer to which must surely be waiting for us inside the tower itself. In conclusion, that is where we must go. A task easier said than done if the perils of the labyrinth are to be any indication. Then I move that all further exploration of the tower be delayed until such time as an exhaustive analysis of the structure's defenses have been completed. It would be my pleasure to do that. Don't forget about us. It's like you said, Chief, we founded the Ironworks to make sure the technology was used for the right reasons. Lads, well, I hope you're ready for some back-breaking chores. Well, everything seems to be in hand here, so I shall take my leave for you for the present. If I am to witness this valiant tale unfold with mine own eyes, I must needs hone my martial skills ere we ascend the spire. Building nothing of the sort, Graha. Your knowledge may prove useful to Master Garland's investigation. An observer I am not, strictly speaking, subject to your authority. Pray do not mistake my intent, Soapy. I am well aware that I shall ever be a match that I shall never be a match for one of your innate talents, however hard I train. Be that as it may, pray do not allow your skills to rust from disuse during the coming pause. We will need you fighting fit in our subsequent forays as to prove productive as this one. Soon, however, we shall cast the veil and gaze upon the glory of the Allagan Empire. And with that encouragement and thought in mind, it is time to bring this assembly to a close. Let us all focus on the task at hand, that our next expedition may begin all the sooner. Meeting adjourned. Yet again, we deny Graha his wants to join us. Oh ho ho! This guy. Such a terrible mess, yet it does leave the door wide open, so to speak. I didn't realize he was the outlandish man. One cannot help but be impressed. I'm beginning to understand the reliance you place on adventurers, old friend. So, this is the legacy of the Allagan Empire left behind. If my readings are correct, the energy source waiting atop the tower is a match even for the Ultima weapon. Nay, more than a match. Is this the first time we see his face? A new toy for me to play with. I believe the fates had conspired to deny me my reward once again, but it would seem they have a greater destiny for me in mind. And so long as my ambition burns, I shall strive to seize it. The dream lives on, Sid. Do not disappoint me. Nero. I didn't even think about that. I forgot that they didn't know who it was that sent me to them. Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You are doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I fear there's nothing to share. The suns continue to probe at the labyrinth of the ancients every day, and it brings new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower. Proper, we've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside it. You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially. In like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Circus Tower, the Allagans called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Sid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we're at a loss. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talents shan't avail us. Perhaps we can be of assistance. And you are? Be at ease, friends, for we share the self-same goal. I am Une, my companion is called Doga. We are the scholars of the Allagan civilization, sent by the students of Baldesion in order to assist your endeavor. Une and Doga, rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for observing, but I digress. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we have received nary a word of your coming. I am sure you will not take amiss if we seem somewhat doubtful. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help. What is it, Garaha? It's nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Oh well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. The same? You have the Allagan eye as well? This sanguine hue is said to be the trait of unique to the Allagans, yet I inherited it from my father, as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there is aught you know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain, those who possess the trait are bound to fate by Allag. As your eye has placed you upon this path you walk, so too have we come here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd as it may sound, it is the truth. It seems to me we have not to lose by accepting their aid. What say you? If that is your wish, then so be it. Yet know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Baldesion when I am able. I trust there will be no objections. Very well. As of this moment, I name Une and Doga advisory members of NOAA. Without further ado, let us have them examine the circus tower entrance. I promise you not have cause to regret your decision. The guy, I don't know if it's Une or Doga, but he's wearing an Allegan coat. I have that as a glamour for Ambrosia. It's a sweet looking coat. I want it. Gigantic door. Ah, some old faces to lift the spirit, and a couple of new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Une and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Alag sent here from our friends of Baldesion to aid in the investigation. We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. 'Tis our hope we can be of some small assistance. Your attires ought to go by. Your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. 'Cause they're Allegan. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Circus Tower, the principal spire of the structure, collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through this proverbial front door, imposing gate you see here. The problem is we can't get it opened. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a Magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective of a security measure. The only clue we have is the elaborate devices carved upon it, a man and a woman, respectant, Allegan royalty by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. It might just be decorative. You're thinking of trying to force it. Save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hand. Rest assured we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed, why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? Hey, that's cheating. Garaha. I don't think any of us expected that to happen. 7 hells, what is this? What did you do? Who are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Its virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only those of royal blood answerable. Exactly as passed down through legend, I am delighted to see. Show your face, Garlean. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero? You're still alive? Of course we didn't kill him. He got away, remember? Garland, if I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. Ah, but I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. Rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is for all intents and purposes defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlemald. And so I've been roaming this land Eorzea, a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, 'tis only my just deserts. But I am determined to make amends. A gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was a symbol of ancient Alleg's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say these two are descended from Allegan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. Put it plain, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Allegan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? So it would seem that time for concealment has passed. Pray accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wished to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it pleases you, let us return to the 8 Sentinels. There is much more to tell. Lucky us, says Soapy. Very well. Seven hells, do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come on, Garland, you know me better than to think I would speak in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An Allegan tombstone. It holds information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. I used to be the jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but now it's yours. It used to be property of the 14th. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. If you are ready to listen, we should tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader Rambrose may wish to be present. I bet he would be. He would like to be. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Baldesion. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through Allegan technology. This is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be so considerate and seemly, might I ask why you and yours were created, and more specifically, what is it you now seek to do? Answering your questions require that we revisit Allegan history. Pray bear with us. The Allegan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood as a tall symbol of Allegan pride. Parents took their children there that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allegan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into despair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Alec to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the Alliant Empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. The founding father? You cannot mean Emperor Xandi. None other. A part of his experiments, Amon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the product of that experience, copies of Unei and Doga. Historical text mentions reign of two Algan emperors named Xandi. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike, to think that the two were in fact one and the same. Xandi returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more, and true to Amon's predictions, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory once it knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world under Algan domination, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Xandi turned his sights toward a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness his power, he converted the Crystal Tower to a restricted research facility. Darkness. Again? Seven hells. What is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness for their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us. He's been 1,000 years dead, after all. Would that you were right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Xandi is very much alive. Within Circus Tower he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the 4th Umbral Era. And we're currently in the 7th. In the blink of an eye, the mighty Allagan Empire was laid to waste. Yet, even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Emperor Xandi's closest aide, invoked powerful magic and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed into a deep slumber. In that state they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. Eras came and went. After a millennia of lying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the earth. Its descent triggered the 7th Umbral Calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Xandi awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. Gotta look at him. It is for no other purpose but to put an end to Xandi's madness that we exist. This is the mantle with which we have inherited our namesakes, the true Unei and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto in their will that we might carry on their mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Xandi, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. 'Tis no ordinary man who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Sopi Sensei Novum, we are confident that we can end Xandi's dark ambitions once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my jargon aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Baldesion amongst a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So what will we do then, Soapy? The world's in grave danger again. It just so happens you're an expert at saving it. I'm soapy. You have our eternal gratitude. Together let us see the Allegan Empire's dark past laid to rest. It has been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allegan civilization, but what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Circus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Soapy, as you did for us within the Labyrinth of the Ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say this includes Emperor Zandy himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Circus Tower from the outside world. To work then. Nero seems upset. Where he was, at the beginning of things, very, very happy. Wait, there's something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean... You inherited a trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Allegan Eye, you called it, but to us it is the Royal Eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessing of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Zandy himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. The duty finder has been updated with a new regular duty. Okay. Well, it's 2.5 hours already, so I think that we will just do 2 duties tomorrow. I think if it works out that way, how I think it is, the story's not going to slow down. It's not going to become less dense. So realistically, that shouldn't be a problem. A little bit closer to my mic, so let me turn it down just a little bit. Okay, so yeah, that's the idea right now, is that we'll just do Circus Tower tomorrow, first thing when I log in. And then we will do everything that happened before the third and final raid. And then we'll also do the third and final raid. And that may be all that the stream is. Just depends how dense the story is. Which I hope is pretty dense. It's pretty interesting. But with that, I think that we're going to sign off for the day. 2.5 hours is a good stopping point, I think. But yeah, maybe I'll go... No, I won't go back to town. We don't have to worry about that. I will see all of you next time, though. Bye-bye.